My name is Averse, and I am the current rank 1 on the global server for Where Ones Meet 1v1 PvP. A frequently asked question in my Twitch chat is, what is your build? Today's video will be answering that question in detail. I hope you find the video helpful and enjoy. First, we're going to go over our weapons, innerways, and mystic skills. For weapons, I use Strategic Sword and Nameless Spear. I've been using that the whole season, and I will probably continue to do so. It is extremely strong. For the innerways, I use Morale Chant, Sword Horizon, Fury Harvest, Evasive Charge. Quick little information on these. Evasive Charge buffs perfect dodging, Fury Harvest gives you vitality for certain things, including perfect dodging. Sword Horizon buffs Strategic Sword, and Morale Chant is just a general buff. As for Mystic Skills, I'm going to try to keep these short and simple, but I'm going to go by each one, starting with the most important, which would be Serene Breeze. This is a mandatory Mystic skill to take in PvP. You need it. It gets you out of CC, basically. So the whole combat flow of the game is you play around this cooldown, essentially. So this is the most mandatory one. Dragon's Breath. It's a move that puts you in tenacity, and it also sets the opponent on fire. When the opponent is on fire and you're using Drunken Poet to hit them, it breaks guard, meaning they can't just hold block and block it. It will go through block, whereas the regular Drunken Poet will not. They will be able to block it. So that's a neat little interaction between those two. Reason being why they're both very mandatory. They're both tenacity abilities that you can, Drunken Poet you can spam and keep getting the tenacity over and over and win trades that way. I'm going to make a more detailed video covering the term tenacity and all these fundamentals of PvP. But for now, just take my word. 4, 1, 2, these three abilities, mandatory. You need to max tier them, you need to level them up fully. They are essential for PvP. Leaping Toad is a combo ability, basically. Yeah, some builds, some weapons use Leaping Toad in their combo, such as the swords that I use, Strategic Sword, Nameless Sword. If you're using one of those swords, you're likely going to be using Leaping Toad. Some weapons like to combo off of Free Morph. So some weapon combinations have combos that include Free Morph. My Strategic Sword Nameless Spear specifically likes to use Leaping Toad a lot more than their combos, so that's why I use Leaping Toad. For this slot, Talon Strike. This slot is also mandatory, but you do not have to pick Talon Strike. You can pick Yaksha Rush. If you want to know which one is better, Yaksha Rush is slower, but more punishing because it silences your opponent. Silence in this game basically turns you into a training dummy. The only thing you can do is hold block. Everything else you cannot do. And I think in some case, well, in GVG you can hold block when you're silenced. I think in PvP you can't hold block when you're silenced. It pretty much just disables everything. Talon Strike is faster, but less punishing because it doesn't apply silence. But the key reason why I use Talon Strike is because it's faster. Many top players will reaction dodge Yaksha Rush, meaning that it's near impossible to land on extremely good players. So that is my reason specifically for taking Talon Strike. In the slot, we have Cloud Steps. This is a Mystic skill that was buffed recently. When you use Cloud Steps in the past, before patch 1.2, I believe it was, Cloud Steps would not be able to be canceled. So when you press that button, you automatically will land on the target, which led to some unfortunate things, such as if their target knows how to parry Cloud Step and punish you, you will just instantly be punished. But now you can cancel Cloud Steps by jumping in the air, which leads to tons of possibilities. And because you can cancel Cloud Steps, you can use it as a gap closer without committing to the enemy. And that's the reason that we get rid of Meridian Touch. I used to use Meridian Touch as like a quick gap closer so I could execute the enemy when their chi bar is out. But you pretty much just replace that with Cloud Steps now, and that fills the role of Meridian Touch, and it's like a multi-purpose solution because Cloud Steps can also do many other things. So yeah, that's why we take Cloud Steps now. Soaring Spin is an ability I honestly don't use very often. In the CN server in the future, Soaring Spin will have a iframe at the beginning animation of it. So it'll be a complete iframe. Right now we don't have that, so it's less safe. Still an amazing ability. It does good damage. It can be used in combos, and it's a good combo starter sometimes. And because of that reason, I have it on my bar. But honestly, I don't use it that much, if not at all. On the last slot, we have Ghostly Steps. Ghostly Steps is, I believe in the old video, I said it was mandatory because the rat build, which is Twin Blade Rope Dart, was so meta. That build got heavily nerfed, so it's not as prevalent anymore. So I wouldn't say Ghostly Steps is mandatory, but Ghostly Steps is extremely good. It reduces your endurance cost of dodging, and it makes your dodges last longer, which is super, super, super beneficial. I don't find myself using it in every match, but I do use it in a lot of matches. Some Mystic skills that are here that I don't use are Golden Body. The reason I'm not using Golden Body is, well, the TLDR is you basically want to use Golden Body when you have a shield. And then when you have a shield and you use Golden Body, you gain HP. You can read more about Golden Body here to find out the exact details, but yeah, basically because my build doesn't supply its shield, it's not as good for me. Some other builds, it will be better, like the Thunder Crab Blade, for example. And Free Morph, I briefly talked about it earlier. It's basically just a combo extension in some builds. Not for my build though. I primarily use Toad instead of Free Morph. And that pretty much sums up everything here. I'm going to do another PSA because there's still a lot of people that don't know about this. Press escape, go to shop, go to offers, social. And on the social shop, you'll see it a little bit higher up next to these. You want to buy these specific attunements for arena. These are for level 71 gear, I believe. Yeah, level 71 gear. You want to buy these. You can buy 15 every week. So please make sure you are buying these. These are super, super, super important for arena. Lastly, we will be going over my gear and attunements. I use Hawkwing and Calm Water. As the reason I don't use Swallow Call anymore, it's because they changed it and it's more effective for bamboo cut weapons now. I use two weapons that are under the Bell Strike damage category, which would be better suited for Hawkwing. And I also use Calm Water. Calm Water is like the bread and butter PvP gear set for the defensive side. There are some builds that don't use Calm Water, but most do. Basically, whenever you're performing a perfect dodge, you have a chance to restore 10 endurance and HP, and the HP gets buffed the lower you are. They nerfed this a little bit with the most recent patch, but it's still extremely good. Now I'm going to go over my attunements one by one. We're going to start with the headpiece here. I'm going to try and be quick and brief, and I'll tell you if I have best in slot and why it's best in slot. So for the helmet, this undisputed is the best possible attunement you can get on your helmet. You want this for not only PvP, but for GVG as well. It is so important that I would consider it probably the most mandatory attunement out of all of these categories. And if you want to look at a full list of attunements, you click Tune here and you go to Affix Preview and you can go to the Arena attunements right here. There are PvE and PvP attunements. We will only be talking about PvP attunements here. Yeah, this gold attunement specifically for the helmet is best in slot. You want this. If you can't get the gold one, that's okay. The purple one is fine. For the chest piece, reduced damage taken by 28% when you are staggered is by far the best one in this category. I would go as far as saying the purple attunement for the stagger, reduced damage taken by 20%, is better than all the other golds except for the upgraded version of it. So if you have this purple line, just use it. If you have the gold line, perfect. You just got the best in slot. As for the leg armor, after dodging an enemy attack, recover 8% of max HP. This is the best line on the boots. We can look at the boots lines here. I've actually tried the recover chi one. The problem I had was it's good. It's really good actually, but in most cases you're going to want HP over chi, and the HP one is just way better overall. This is definitely the best in slot one for this category. As for gauntlets, there are two extremely good options here. You can either pick or whichever one you get, to be honest, since this system is a little RNG. Recover 16 chi upon a successful deflection and consecutive deflections. Basically, this one is if you're constantly parrying, you're going to do even more chi damage. And then this one is every 10 seconds, the first time you parry, you're going to get 16 chi. They're both insane. You want one of those. And if you can't get the gold lines, that's fine. I'm just covering the gold lines because those are best in slots. The purple equivalents are just as good. For the weapons, I do not have good attunements on my weapons. I will show you the best ones that I have, or the best ones that you want. Using an execution skill restores 30 vitality and HP equal to 20% of the damage dealt is best in slot. And you'll bonus 15 bonus chi damage and recover 5 chi when hitting a non-defending unit with a counterattack skill, aka divine counter. This is also the other best in slot. I get asked a few questions in chat regarding the weapons. Just to be clear, even if my sword does something, if I have the spear out, my sword arena attunement will still be active. A lot of people ask me do I have to have the sword out for that arena attunement to be active? The answer is no. Another thing is, if you have 2 of the same attunement, let's say I had gain tenacity for 1.5 seconds here and I had it here as well, they do not stack and it will take the higher of the 2. So I have recover 30 vitality here. Let's say I had the upgraded version of that. Let's say I had the gold line using execution skill recovers 30 vitality and HP. It's going to take this line and completely disregard the other one. So just keep that in mind. You can't stack 2 of the same one. One would just be obsolete. But I have this line. Honestly, I barely even noticed this. I'm not even sure if it's useful at all. And this one, I've just never hit the gold version of this, so this will suffice for now. For the charm slot, these are build specific, the charm and the pendant. The charm one, this is the Nameless Spear Extra Serene Breeze. They actually nerfed it pretty heavily since the last time I made a build video, but it is still extremely good. It's just an extra get out of jail for free card. Extremely useful. As for this one, this is for the strat sword. Basically, when you charge R, if they're 30% chi or below, it will knock them airborne. This is extremely broken. The reason being is because it goes through block, which not a lot of people know about. And I honestly didn't really know about it until a few days after I started using it. That is one of the main reasons it's so good. So when my opponent is 30% chi or lower, every 10, well, as soon as I hit them, I can do it again. In the next 10 seconds, they will just fly in the air, which I can then start a combo out of. So those are my attunements. I wouldn't change these 4. These 4 are pretty much best in slot for all builds. With the gloves, you can do the other one. The consecutive parries give you more chi damage, or this one, whichever one you get first, or whichever one you prefer. And like I said, these are build specific, but for strat sword, this is definitely best in slot. And just to preface this, I should have said this at the start, but for arena specifically, these lines don't matter as much as the arena attunement. Like if these lines were all awful, but I still had this arena attunement, I would definitely still use it, just because the arena attunement matters so much. Just in case anyone asks, this is my bow. This is not actually what you want up here. You want arrow flight speed. I just never got a gold bow that had that. The substats, they're not all too important. This is the ring. These are the substats. Mine is not that good, but yeah, it's not all too important. And that concludes the build video. I hope you guys found the video helpful. If you did, please drop a like and subscribe, as it helps me out a lot. I stream my PvP gameplay every single day live on twitch.tv/Averse and here on YouTube now. And yeah, that concludes everything. I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Thank you for watching.